in reproduction in plants chapter. Yes, beta. Hello, or do you want me to redo it? Boys? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, do you want me to redo it or do you already know about it? Because the last session, this was the last slide that we had done. But if you wish, then I will redo it again. Do you know or you're not?
Sahil Ball.
We have done, right?
Sahil.
Okay. So I'll just brief it again. This is a flower. It has got the male part and the female part, right? Now we'll do one by one. The male part is known as stamen, which is having two parts, that is anther, that is yellow colored at the tip, and the filament, which is like a stalk, like a tube. Now we come to the female part. This is the male part. Now we come to the female part. Female part is known as carpel or pistil. The top is known as stigma. The tube is known as style. And the swollen portion at the bottom is known as ovary, which has got ovule inside. Any problem?
No.
Okay, so I've just briefed you. We have already done it, I know because I have noted it down. But still, I thought that if you wish, then I will do it again. Now we will do, so this is a rose, and we are going to talk about sepals. Now, function of sepals, please read, Peter.
Okay, ma'am, I read.
Okay,
मैम आपने क्या बोला था फंक्शन ऑफ
sepals.
sepals protect flowers when still a bird may pre-
Persist
persist but no functions their
thereafter.
effect thereafter
Thereafter. Okay.
thereafter
What is the meaning, Peter? Now, these are the sepals. I will show you what are the sepals. This is a bird. Can you see the bird, Beta? Hello? So,
yes
like this green leaves you can see, like this. These are called the sepals. Small green leaves at the bottom of the flower are called
sepals
sepals.
sepals
Strawberry also you can see over here. Strawberry. These are sepals. You can see this. These are small leaves at the base of the
sepals
flower is called
leaves
sepals.
leaves leaves
Yes.
sepals
So they are the green leaves. The small leaves are now. Here are the sepals. Can you see?
yes
This is better. See, can you see this? All this.
मतलब
These
यार
are
वो
sepals.
उग रहे हैं अभी फूल
No, these are sepals. The birds are inside the sepals. These are sepals better. The birds are inside the sepals. Got it? So what it is doing? It is
yes
protecting the bird. It is protecting the baby flower. It is protecting the bird. You understand? Hello?
yes ma'am
Okay, fine. So now you got what is called sepals. Okay. So what it is the function? It is protecting the flower when it is very small and it may be there but there is no function. So function is it is a bud. The function of sepal is only present when the flower is in a very bud condition. It's a very small flower we have in the form of bud. Then and then only the sepal has got function. Thereafter, it does not have any function. Is it understandable? Is it understandable, Beta?
Yes,
yes
ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll see function of petals. Please read, Beta.
yes ma'am function of petals to attack insects
To attract insects.
ma'am
See
to
here,
attack
you can see the flower, beautiful colored flower, the blue one. See how beautiful colored it is. Now here also it's beautifully colored. See insects are on the flowers. So these colors are attracting the insects. So the function of the petals is to attract insects. And when insects get attracted, obviously it is pollinating the flowers. And when the flowers are pollinated, then the fertilization takes place. When the fertilization takes place, then the fruits are formed. And when the fruits are formed, the seeds are formed. And when seeds are formed, a new baby plant are developed. You understand? Do you understand, Beta? How the things are related? Now we are going to read the male and female reproductive organs separately. Please start. First, you will do the stamens. Read, Beta.
Yes, ma'am. Stamen male organ. Bear and thrift contain pollen
Anthers
grains. Anthers contain pollen grains which produce male cells.
or gametes.
Gameters.
Gametes. Read properly,
Gametes.
please. Stamens, male organ, bear anthers, contain
Bear
pollen
anthers
grains which
contain pollen
produce
grains
male cells or
which
gametes.
produce male cells. Gametes.
And please adjust your mic, Beta. Some disturbances are on.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So now you can
Okay,
see
ma'am.
over here. Okay. Now you
Yes.
can see over here stamen. This has got anthers. Then this tube, see, still disturbances are on.
Okay, ma'am.
This filament. So stamen is made up of anthers and filament. And if you cut this anther, we get pollens. What we get? Pollens. And this is the male cell. You understood? This is the male cell. You understood better? Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
Now we will see how this stamen looks like. See, can you see this?
yes,
Yes? See, look at this. So this is the anther and this is the filament. Understood, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we come to female organ, that is pistil. Please read. Please read. Boys, please read, beta.
Okay, ma'am. I read.
Yeah.
Pistil female organ composed a stigma,
Stigma,
style, and ovary.
ovary,
Ovary. The ovary produce female cells or gametes.
gametes. Now look over here. How does it look? The top one is known as stigma. The
Stigma,
tube one is known as
style,
style. The swollen portion is known as
ovary
ovary.
wall.
Inside is ovule. So this is the
Yes.
pistil. What it is, beta? Pistil. What is the other
Pistil.
name? What is the other name? Carpel. What is the other
Cargal.
name? Carpel.
Carpal. Carpal.
Understood? Understood? All of you?
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
How does it look like? This is the ovary.
This
This is the
ovary.
ovary. And these are the
मैम
ovule.
ऐसा जो अंदर है वो मैम ऑरेंज में भी होता है
हाँ सब में होता है
ऑरेंज का वो स्किन टाइप
that is
जैसा काट
ovule.
देना तो ऐसा होता है
Exactly. That is the inside the seeds that you can see is the ovule. The ovule will become
यस
seed. You understood?
यस
Now we will work on male reproductive organs. Please start. I think I have to explain. There's nothing to read
यस
better.
मैम
Let me explain. Over here you can see this
Anther.
lobes. This is anther, and this has got dot dot structures of yellow color. These are called as pollen. What it is called as beta? Pollen
Pollen.
grains. Okay, fine. So this is anther, and you can see over here. You see this portion. It is filament. What it is, beta?
Filament.
Okay, understood?
Yes.
Okay. So this is anther, this is
And
anther,
filament is
and this is filament, and it is called as stamen.
stamen.
Now, what is the function of anther? It forms pollen
Function of
grains.
anther. Forms pollen grains.
What is the
Filament.
function of filament? Anther.
Hold anther.
Yeah. And
Pollen
pollen
grains
grain?
contains the male.
Gamete. Contains the male gamete or the male cell. What is the male cell? Pollen.
Pollen.
You understood? So this is
Yes.
filament. This is anther. Inside the anther we have pollen, which is the
Pollen.
male cell or the
Male
male
cell.
gamete. You understood?
Yes.
All of
Yes.
you? All of you?
Yes. 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 Yes, ma'am.
Now we come to female. Reproductive
Reproduction. Floral organs. Female.
yeah. Now you can see over here, this is the pollen grain which has come onto the stigma. So this is called as pollination. What it is called as? Pollination.
Pollination.
Okay, this much you have understood.
Yes. Yeah.
So this pollen grain is on the stigma. The stigma. This tube is called as style.
Stigma.
Tube is called as style,
Style.
and this style
Ovary.
has got a swollen portion which is known as
Is
ovule.
ovary.
Inside the ovary, we have the
Ovulus.
ovule.
Ovule.
In the ovary, we have the egg cell. That is the
Egg
female
cell.
cell. Female cell. Okay.
Yeah.
What is function of camphor?
Whole female sex cell. Egg cell. Ovum.
Ovum.
What is this? Ovum.
Ovum. Ovum.
Ovum.
Understood? So, what are the names of the female sex cell? It is either egg cell or it is also called as ovum. What it is called as, Vita?
Ovum. Egg cell or ovum.
Understood?
Yeah.
All of
Yes.
you? Now, what is the scalpel?
Couple.
Consisting of stigma, style, and ovary.
Ovary.
Got it?
Yes.
Is someone's mic is on better? Just check. Just check if someone's mic is on. Now we'll see pollination.
Yes. Pollination. Pollination, the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. Pollen, pollen grains are transferred by wind, water or insects. If pollen grains lands on the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. If pollen grains of one flower lands on the stigma of another flower, it is called cross pollination.
Understood?
Yes.
No. Okay. Now, what is pollination? I just showed you here. The pollen grain lands on stigma. That is called as pollination. Right? Right? This is called as pollination. In this case, from where it is coming, pollen grains from the anther. From where it is coming? From the anther. Where it is landing? Stigma. The method is called as pollination. How does it happen? It is either by wind, water, or insect. We saw insects, isn't it? The petals attract insects. We saw that, isn't it, beta? Yes, colorful petals attracting insects. We saw that. Now, we will see the types of pollination. If pollen grains are landing on the same flower of the same stigma, for example, this is one flower. So, pollen grains from here lands on stigma. This becomes self. What it becomes? Self-pollination. Now, if this is one flower, this is one flower, and this is second flower. So, pollen grains of this flower will go and land onto the stigma of another flower, and that is called as cross pollination. This much have you understood? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Nicely understood? This is
Yeah.
self in the same flower, and here one and two flowers are involved. That is called as cross. What it's called, beta? Cross. Have you understood this much?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, please read.
okay, ma'am. Pollination is is the transfer of pollen grains from an anther to a stigma.
Okay, who is speaking, beta? Who is reading?
Sunraj Maida.
Acha. Sanraj, drink a bit of water, please.
Okay, ma'am.
Your throat will become okay. And then continue, beta. So, what is pollination? It is the pollen grains which is transferred from anther to stigma. Okay, this mechanism or this process is known as pollination. Look over here. Now, this is a bee, right? This is a bee. So, it will come onto this flower on the wings. It can have this pollens will stuck on the wings of the bee. It will come to the uh, pistil or the carpel, and this will deposit on the stigma. This is stigma, and the pollination takes place. Understood? So, what is these are all pollens. What are they? These are all pollen. There is the male cell falling on the stigma of pistil or carpel, and this is called as pollination. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? Boys, is it
Yes,
clear with
ma'am.
you?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Let's see how stigma looks like. Please read.
Stigma. Sticky provides
Nutrients,
nutrients to pollen grains.
pollen grains, right? Now look over here. Now this is the stigma, that is the pistil, right? This one is the carpel or pistil. This is the female, right? Female organ. The upper portion is called as stigma. How is the stigma? It is sticky. It is like a gummy, sticky substances, but it has got lots of nutrients for the pollen to germinate. So if pollen drops over here, if pollen drops over here, many pollens, only few pollens will form the tube inside the style. Got it now? So from where it is getting the help? It is getting the help from the nutrients which is present on the stigma. So it's allowing it to germinate. You can see over here, this is the stigma. It's a stigma, and all these pollen grains are germinating inside the stigma. Can you see the tubes? So many tubes forming. These are the tubes coming out from the pollen. These are called as pollen tubes. Where it is going? It is going in the style. Where is it going better? Style. It is germinating on the stigma, but it's going inside the style to reach the ovary. Understood? Understood this electron microscopy better.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes? All of you understood? So I'm showing you all these things are not present in your book. I should tell you that. So allow me to give you extra information so that things become very clear because you may think how it can go inside, how is it formed, how the seeds are formed, how the fruits are formed. So I'm showing you step by step everything, the process, the procedure of the formation of fruits. Okay? So what is happening here? The pollen grains after pollination, what they do? They start germinating. Where? On the stigma. What do they produce? They produce pollen tube, which goes inside the style. This much you have understood? Hello.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is how it looks like. See? Beautiful, isn't it?
Ma'am, there was light.
Yes, beta?
वो मैम लाइट जैसी दिखती है लाइट उसके अंदर ना वैसा
Because it is just a moment. It has been stained, beta. No, no, it has been stained. It's due to stain. Just a
yes
moment. Stin. How we use ink? We use ink,
yes
isn't it? That's how they use stain. So only the pollen tube will be shown and nothing else will be shown. Got it? You understand? To highlight, then how you will come to know.
yes ma'am
If everything looks same, then how you will come to know? So only pollen tube will be stained and rest of them will be at the background. Okay? It's not. It's called as fluorescent stain. What it is called? Fluorescent stain, which gives out light. Okay? Now, the other name of pollen grain is microspore. What it is, beta? Macrospore. What this pollen grain has? It has got a male cell or the male gamete. You can see over here that the pollen grain, these are the pollen grains, is falling on the stigma, right? Okay? And it is forming the pollen tube. Can you see this tube which is going inside? It's forming the pollen tube. Then it goes in the ovary. You see, this is the ovary. Yes. Then the pollen tube goes down and then fertilizes with the egg cell. And what is the egg cell? Female cell. What is the egg? Female cell, right? And the male cell is fertilizing with the egg cell. Got it? And in this we get the female cell. Any problem?
No.
Okay. Now we will see the sequence of formation of fruits. First we'll see flowers. You see these flowers over here? These are flowers. We'll go one by one. What are these, beta? Flowers. Now we take the cross section of flowers to show the pollination. So what is happening over here? The pollen from this anther is coming to the other flower, and so it becomes cross. What it becomes with a cross, and pollination takes place. So what is called as pollination. Okay, right? After pollination, the pollen tube is formed. You see this here, and fertilization takes place. So what is the next procedure? Fertilization. So first was pollination, and this one is fertilization. Okay. After fertilization, what happens? What becomes with the fruits? So you can see all these fruits. What does fruits have? It has got seeds. You can see these seeds. And when seeds are put in the soil, what we get? New plants. So what is this called as? Germination. What it is called as, beta? Tell me. Germination. Any problem? This is the
No.
sequence. And after germination, what we get? A new plant with flowers. Yes? Any problem? Any difficulty? Yes, beta? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Now we revise again regarding pollination. Please start.
Yes, ma'am.
Please start.
Pollination, transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of a flower is known as pollination. It is the first step in the okay, ma'am. Is the first step in the process of seed formation. Two types: self-pollination, pollen grains of transferred from anther to the stigma of the same flower. Cross-pollination: the pollen grains are transferred from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of same kind, different plants.
You understood? So self-pollination is the same plant, same flower. Cross-pollination is different plants and different flower. You understand? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. In this case, you can see the self-pollination. The anther, you can see these are the anthers. It's coming to the stigma. This is self-pollination. Okay? Okay, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is self-pollination on the left hand side. Self-pollination. This one is what it is? Cross. What it is? Cross. Okay, because two flowers are involved. So this one you can see self, same flower, same plant, two flowers, same plant it is. Cross, different plants, different plants. Can you see this? Different plants. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now what are the agents of pollination? How the pollination
Agents
takes
of
place?
pollination. Number one,
Start.
wind. Wind blows away pollen grains from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flowers.
Read.
Okay. Feature of flowers. Small, not brightly, not brightly colored. Do not product produce nectar.
Nectar. Then
Feature of pollen grains. Very light. Produce in large number. Example: pollination in wheat, rice, and maize.
okay.
Ma'am, see
Well,
this
finally,
color,
yes. What happened?
like like smoke is going down.
Yes, I will be
This
showing you
photos
some.
too.
I will be showing you it everything in detail.
Yes.
Now, let's see why wind is helpful in pollination. So, with wind, the anthers it it produces pollen grains in large amount, and from one flower it goes to stigma of another flower. What are the features of these flowers? Why wind is useful? Because these flowers are very small. They are not at all. They are dull-looking flowers. They are very dull. They are not at all attractive. And the third is that they are not producing any sweet-smelling uh, nectar. Nectar is juice. What bees come and take nectar out of it, then they make
Nectar.
honey. They make honey
Yes.
out of nectar, remember that, right? So bees collect nectar and then make honey in their honeycomb, isn't it? Yes,
Yes.
understood?
मैम इस दो फीचर्स का मैम ऐसा फोटो लेते हैं कि ऐसा ही होता है प्लांट्स
No, this is photo. I see, it's like this only, beta.
Microscopic.
Yes, the plants are like this only, very small. Okay, now what are the features of pollen grains? They are very light. They are not heavy. Pollens are very light, and they are produced in huge number, large numbers. Where do you get this pollination? Generally, wheat, rice, and maize. See, this is how the pollens are liberated.
Yes.
Can you see this? It's like cloud.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
It's like cloud. Understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, where the water is used. Let's start.
Okay, ma'am. Number two, water.
Okay.
Pollen grains are released into the water and carried out by water current to other flowers. Example, aquatic plants such as sea grass and
Melisneria.
velis, velisneria.
So, in water, how water is an agent? Because the flowers which are in the water, they release pollen grains, and the water current is carrying these pollen grains to other flowers, and over there it gets pollinated. What are the plants that is taking part in this sort of dispersal or this sort of pollination? Not dispersal, but it is pollination. I'm sorry about it. They are
Yes,
aquatic plants, that is water plants. Example, seagrass and Balisnaria. You can see over here, the pollens
ma'am, what
are,
is this?
it is Thalassia, it's aquatic plant. The
Yes.
pollens are released over here, and this is a male plant and this is a female plant. So male is releasing pollen, it is going to female plant and it will get pollinated. You understood? Do you understand this? This is the way the water is helping in pollination.
Yes. Number
Now we
three.
come to
Number three,
insects.
insects. Insects visit flowers from nectar. Some pollen grains stick to the body parts of these insects. When these insects visit an- another flowers, the pollen grains fall on the stigma. Feature of flowers: sweet smell, bright colored petal, or
Diurnal.
du-
Diurnal.
diurnal diagonal insect. Example: rose, sunflower, white, light green petals. For
Nocturnal.
insect,
Nocturnal.
nocturnal insects. Example: jasmine and cacti, rich in
Cacti.
nectar. Features of pollen grains: sticky pollen grains.
So you saw the difference between the wind and the insects. Insects will go
Yes.
to flowers for nectar, you know that. So when they go to those flowers, certain pollen grains they stick to their wings. And when these insects with the pollens on the wings go to another flower, these pollen grains they fall on the stigma and the pollination takes place. The features of flowers are that they are very sweet smelling, so they attract the insects. They're also having very brightly colored petals. For which insects? Diurnal insects. Now, what is the diurnal insects? Insects which are very active during daytime. Example, rose and sunflower. These are the flowers which attracts the diurnal insects like bees, wasp, right? And certain nocturnal insects are very active for pollination. These are jasmine and cacti, and the flowers are very light colored. Generally, they are white or light green petals they have. So it has been, what should I say? It's been used at night time by the insects. They are very rich in sweet smelling juices that is called as nectar, and pollen grains, they are sticky. They stick to the wings of the insects. That is the feature. Now you can see over here, white color. This is nocturnal maybe. And over here you can see the butterflies on the brightly colored flower. Yes. Hello. Yes, boys, have you understood? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we'll see structure of a flower. Again, it's revision. I've been taking it again and again. Carpel or pistil. What is the other name, beta? Pistil.
Purple or
Yes. So the top one is stigma. What is the function? Pollen grains it takes. Then you got the tube. This is called style. What is the function? It is supporting stigma. Now we come down. The ovary. It's not carpel.
to
It
the
is only ovary. It is protecting ovule. Inside there is ovule inside. That is ovule. So what it becomes? It becomes seed after fertilization. Hope you have understood this nicely because
Yes,
many
ma'am.
times I have repeated, many times I have repeated. So I think
yes.
things are very clear now. Now we'll see what is fertilization. Please begin.
That's good.
Fertilization. The process of fusion of the male and female ga-
Gametes.
gam- gametes to form a zygote is
Zygote.
called fertilization.
So what is fertilization, beta? The male
And female
cross female, and what we get? Zygote. What is the
zygote.
process? What is the process? Fertilization.
Fertilization.
Okay. Next,
After fertilization, zygote develops into an
embryo.
embryo. The ovule then develops into the seed and the ovary develops into the fruit.
So fertilization takes place. What we got? Zygote. Now zygote will develop into embryo. Okay? You understood now? Now the ovule which is already there inside, that ovule will develop into seed and ovary will develop into fruit. This much have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now look over here. These are the pollen grains on the stigma. Agree? The pollen tube is forming down in the style. This pollen tube comes down in the ovary. Yes? Yes or no? So this pollen tube is coming down and is fertilizing with the egg. Yes or no?
Yes.
This
Yes,
is
ma'am.
called as fertilization. So after
This is called
pollination,
as fertilization.
fertilization takes place. Hope you have understood this much.
Okay, ma'am, no problem.
Is the time up? Let's check,
No,
beta.
yes, time up.
Time up.
10:15.
Okay, so we will not take up because it will take some at least two
Yes,
minutes
ma'am.
for
Okay,
explanation. So we call it a day today.
okay,
I hope you have
okay.
understood today's session nicely.
Yes,
Nicely you have understood better, all of you.
very, very nicely.
Okay, now you have to give me out of out, all of you. Promise me.